guys, so I'm going to show you two great strawberry recipes, and these are both recipes that you can find on the blog. However, with the second one, I am tweaking it a little bit to make it healthier and also gluten-free. It's a recipe that I published about 3 years ago, so I use a little less sugar in my baking now than I did 3 years ago, and so I'm going to be kind of giving it a little bit of an update and probably sharing a printable version of the updated version later today or tomorrow. So the two recipes that I'm going to be doing are strawberry balsamic vinaigrette, which you guys is just insanely delicious, and then also a simple strawberry crisp. So both of these are great for, you know, strawberries that maybe are a little extra ripe, a little bruised. You're not going to notice in either one of these recipes. The strawberry balsamic vinaigrette is super easy to make, and it's only going to take us about 2 minutes maybe. So I have here 1 cup of strawberries, and I halved these so you can see they're kind of coming over the top just a little bit, but if I were to put any pressure on this, they would kind of flatten out and even to a cup. So 1 cup of strawberries, and I'm going to mix those first and then I'm going to turn my blender on to just low. I'm not going to, you know, blend these at a very high speed. I just need everything to get mixed. So quarter cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, gosh. And 1 tablespoon of honey. Okay, and the final ingredient in this vinaigrette is just a ½ teaspoon of salt. Oh, it's raining now. Okay, so just a ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm going to turn this back on to low. And my vinaigrette is done. So at this point, you could taste it if you wanted it any sweeter, but really those ripe strawberries are going to give it a lot of sweetness. And that is perfect. You can taste some of the vinegar in there, but really it's just a super, super easy and really delicious salad dressing. Keep it in the fridge. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to make with the rest of more of our strawberries from the farm is a simple strawberry crisp. And like I said, the recipe on the blog is from 3 years ago, so it calls for granulated sugar and brown sugar. And while I do use those things occasionally, I really like to use natural sweeteners a lot more often. And I also wanted to just kick that flour out and give it a really easy gluten-free substitute to make this a gluten-free version. So I'm going to share it with you now. I just kind of jotted down some notes. I'm going to share it with you now and then hopefully do an updated printable version of the recipe on the blog. So, hey Marie. The first thing I have is just roughly 2 cups of strawberries, and I quartered them and rinsed them off, of course. And then to the strawberries, I'm going to add, let's see here, a tablespoon of coconut sugar and a tablespoon of arrowroot. And so your arrowroot is going to serve as a thickener. When the strawberries cook, they will give off some liquid just like, you know, they would in a pie. And so you want a thickener in there like arrowroot, or the recipe on the blog calls for flour. That's just going to serve to thicken up the juices that the strawberries give off, to kind of give it a little sauce. So that was a tablespoon of arrowroot and a tablespoon of coconut sugar. And this is just coconut sugar that I ordered on Amazon. I went ahead and did a subscribe and save option on this because I am using coconut sugar so much more often now. And then a half a teaspoon of almond extract. And that's all that's going in this mixture right here. So I'm just gonna give it a little quick stir to get everything coated. And then half a teaspoon of almond extract. Okay, so I have here just a square glass baking dish, and I'm gonna pour these right in. Off the cream. So we're gonna go a little bit healthier today. We're gonna have the strawberries make a crisp, but instead of ice cream or whipped cream today, we're just gonna have it on top of some homemade yogurt. Hey, sweetie pie. So we're gonna have it on top of some homemade yogurt. So it's kind of like strawberries and granola, but it'll make a really delicious afternoon snack. Okay, so now to I'm just gonna use the same bowl so I don't get extra things dirty, and I'm gonna add 1 cup of rolled oats. And so if you are gluten-free, of course, you know to make sure that you get your oats that are made in a gluten-free facility. And then a 1/4 cup of arrowroot, which is 4 tablespoons. So you can either use a 1/4 cup or you can just measure out 4 tablespoons, which is what I'm going to do. And again, this arrowroot is serving as a thickener, and it's going to help this topping to kind of bind together and to just bind together. Okay, so here I have a 1/4 cup of arrowroot, and now I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of coconut sugar, and I also have a 1/4 cup of melted butter. So don't you like it when everything kind of is the same amounts? It makes it really easy to remember. I just made banana bread from my blog this morning, and it was like a 1/3 cup of this and a 1/3 cup of that and a 1/3 cup of the other. So makes it easy to remember when you're baking. Okay, so rolled oats, arrowroot, coconut sugar, and then a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, which I'm just gonna sprinkle in here. Hope I don't go too crazy with it. There we go. And then the butter is just going to help everything stick together. And so I just baked some banana bread. You can see it right here. I'll show you. So this is banana bread. We had like 10 or 12 bananas that were just super ripe. So most of them went in the freezer, but I did make some banana bread. So all that to say, my oven is already pretty warm. So figured it would be good to go ahead and make a crisp while my oven was hot. So to the rolled oat mixture, I'm just going to pour in the butter. And as soon as all of the oats are coated, I'm just going to kind of dollop it across the top of the strawberries and bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes. So like I said, really simple. Maybe took me 5 or 10 minutes to put all this together. So you can see all of the oats are wet, and they're just going to kind of crisp up in the oven and be a super delicious afternoon snack with some homemade yogurt. Very much. Okay, so here it is. Here is my simple strawberry crisp. And be looking either today or tomorrow for an updated, just kind of healthier, gluten-free version of this on the blog. So in my oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. And that's it, guys. So let me